Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Super Subs Podcast, hosted by Risha Narv, the podcast where two bros talk all things footy, drop takes hotter than a manager's seat after a five-game slump. Arne Slot hitting that streak here soon, and discuss who deserves our prestigious award of Super Sub of the Week. Narv, we'll start with you per usual. Who's your Super Sub this week?
Um, I already know who yours is going to be, so I'm not going to take him. But my super sub of the week is our Asian brother, Kang In Lee for PSG. I thought when he came on, he was a complete game changer. Definitely brought a different type of element to PSG. He's one player where I wish he kind of got like a move because I don't see him becoming a starter. He's more of like a impact player. But like his influence on the game, I thought was ridiculous. He almost scored. Kind of had that build up to the goal, to the second goal, and then he almost got an assist also. So he just made crazy impact off the bench.
Yeah, that's a good shout, and we'll definitely dig into that game for sure. Today we'll be doing like a Champions League roundup of a few games, and then of course Premier League, and touch on a Serie A game too. But for me, my super sub, like you said, you already know who it is. It's Mr. Dorgu coming on for United. Uh, no, I'm just kidding. It's of course Mr. Steve,
Steve
young
O.
young man. I mean, the impact he made, obviously he got the winner. So that's huge against Liverpool. Big game, but aside from just the goal, I mean, he was a huge impact. He looked dangerous before that game, even or before that goal, and he almost assisted Enzo that beautiful cross. He had another like curling effort that was fantastic save. So I mean, he was just an impact off the bench, and I wish we fed him a little more. But I'm glad we came out with the win, and he was honestly like a big part of that.
Yeah, and his chant, I love his chant. It's hype.
Oh, like the from the fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, he definitely did a lot more than what Garnacho and Pedro kind of managed to do all game, just like with his few minutes he got.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll definitely dig into Garnacho a little more because uh I'm proud of
Malfoy.
that. I'm proud of him. I like him. I know I was kind of like a fan of him at United before his he turned into like an the WWE characters, how there's a good guy and the bad guy.
Storyline, yeah, he was
Like
an villain arc,
he was a good guy for a long time, you know? Like
especially when CR7 was there, like copying
yeah.
celebrations, everything, and then
It's like John Cena. Apparently John Cena's a bad guy now.
oh really?
Yeah.
I don't remember. The last time I remember him being a bad guy was like when the Fiend was still there and like in his playhouse. They made Cena like into an evil. Uh,
Wait, who's Fiend?
Bray Wyatt. Uh,
Oh, okay.
the guy that would freak you out when like the lights
Yeah.
go off and then he like pops up out of nowhere, the mask.
Yeah, that was super unnecessary. Kids watching. Um, yeah, speaking of John Cena, so I watched Shane Gillis live this past weekend, and he was talking about, um, you know how he has his classic joke about like the Down syndrome community, and they
Hmm.
love two things. One is obviously super inappropriate with women,
Yeah.
uh, but the second is John Cena. Uh, and he was saying how John Cena's a bad on the bad side now. He's a villain.
Uh-huh.
And Shane Gillis has a coffee store now, and it's all his employees have Down syndrome. And he said walking in now, they still love John Cena, but
Hmm.
they used to do it like enthusiastically, like you can't see me. But he's like now when they come in, they're just like
I
so
know John
sad.
Cena got like some superhero role too now in some movie. But I don't really like him
Yeah,
as an
it's
actor. He's
no.
find him kind of lame.
The only one I like is The Rock, like as an actor.
Yeah, it kind of suits him.
Yeah, I watched some on Prime. You know that movie Roadhouse with Conor McGregor?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, I was so excited for it. And
You've been talking about that for a while that you wanted to watch it.
dude, I watched the first 20 minutes and I was like, I wasted 20 minutes of my life. It was horrendous.
You had to pay for it?
No,
Okay,
came with the Prime package, but
nice.
yeah. But yeah, we'll hop into the games this weekend. So we'll start with, do you want to start with the United game?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's do that.
Got 3 point collectors here this weekend.
Yes,
Put
sir.
your hands up if you got 3 points. Put your hands up if you kept the clean sheet. Keep
Ah.
your hands up if you didn't get any red cards.
But yeah, I guess we'll start with United. I had to watch this one back, just couldn't catch it live, but um so I'll let you kind of take away with maybe a summary of
Mhm.
the game and then, just our usual of like points that stuck out, players that stuck out, and then we'll see where we go from there.
I think one player that stuck out definitely was we started.
Whoa, you gotta give a summary for our viewers. I know
Oh,
that's usually my job, but
so we made the debut for Layman's at goalkeeper, uh, free of buy-ender now, free from him. But we had Ahmad back this game as well as Lenny Euro getting to start again. Um, and we got off to a really quick start. Mason Mount back from injury starting, and under 10 minutes off a cross from Embuemo, Mason Mount, he gets like a really good finish. I don't think the keeper could have really saved it because defender was blocking his view. And then,
even that touch was pretty like composed touch and like it
yeah,
wasn't an easy.
because it's kind of fizzed in a bit, a little
Hmm.
awkward. And then we were kind of dominating, I'd say, possession wise, creating a few chances, but around the 30th minute, it was off a throw in, and it was just kind of poor marking as well as Sunderland players kind of asleep, and Sesko just kind of poached on it, finished first home goal for United.
Oh yeah. I don't know what it is about a celebration. It's like so simple, but like it's super hype.
Yeah, his vertical is crazy. So, and then second half, it was
Did
more or
you
less
did
this.
you celebrate with him?
No, I only got like a 2 inch vertical, so no way. I will say one thing, Sunderland, I think after they conceded the second, I was a bit confused, but it made sense because like after Sesko's goal, like it looked like we could have grabbed a third one. And so like 10 minutes later, he took out Ndingra and just put five at the back, bringing in Ballard to really just hold possession for at least a little bit until halftime. And then second half is more or less we were kind of on the front foot. I think Sunderland had a chance in the 88th minute where it's kind of like a miscommunication between the
Hmm.
keeper and Bruno, which could have been a disaster. And then Sunderland had a shot like through on goal, but big save, so clean sheet and a
Hmm.
W.
Yeah, I think I mean a win is a win, you'll take it 2-0, but I don't know, I still feel like there's a lot of issues that are masked in terms of like a lot of fans, United fans, like obviously they're happy they got the dub and they're like, oh, we're back and like, but I feel like Sunderland on another day could have taken a point from this. And I think they got kind of unlucky. Even in the opening 5 minutes, they had that one like almost a tap in. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, it's Traore kind of he just mishit it.
Yeah. And the issue there is like Dallo. Him starting still is like I don't know why he started over Dorgu
Hmm.
because Dallo was just like sleeping in that back post, and like he was just watching the game. And I don't know, I feel like it's been like that for all season. Ever
Yeah.
since that Tyler Dibbling performance last year, the start of last year, he's been poor. So I don't understand like why he's still starting. Like I feel like that was a huge weak point for you guys.
Yeah, he just doesn't suit the back five. Like I think Ten Hag got the best out of him for sure in the back four, but like this doesn't suit him because as you mentioned, like Dorgu's I think has a lot more quality going forward, whereas I think like everyone in our starting 11 had a respectable performance. Like maybe a 7 out
Hmm.
of 10 except Dallo. I think Dallo was just like ruining a lot also going forward because like obviously he's a right-footed player, so like trying to cut in just like slows the play down a bit, misplaces passes a lot too. So
Hmm. Yeah, and I don't know, it just seems like at times Sunderland had they were cutting you guys open with ease. And like again, this is Sunderland, so going up against larger, better quality players, teams, like I feel like there's a lot of issues still in that midfield that,
Mhm.
is masked by the result that I guess fans aren't paying attention to. But I will say props to Amarim for sticking with, like, Cunha is a huge money signing, and
Yeah.
you'd expect him to start, but like sticking with
Mhm.
like his belief that Mount should be in that starting lineup, I thought was a really
Yeah.
bold decision, but I thought was the right decision at the end of the day.
hmm Yeah, Mount's really coming back into really the glimpses of that Champions League run, which like was really the sole reason we kind of went after him. And I think really suits this role. But it is nice to have competition like in that role as well. So like if any one of them like slags off, like
Hmm.
the other will be right there. I think one uh other than Dallo, another player who has me a bit worried at the start of this year is Embuemo. I just don't think he's been up to pace yet. I don't
I
know,
thought this was one of his
chemistry.
better games, though. Like
Mhm.
I thought he definitely had a few chances he created pretty well, but yeah, I do think he's had a slow start to the season.
I feel like I've just seen him like at much higher levels
Mhm.
at Brentford. He just hasn't reached those heights at all yet.
And
Uh,
then I think like Mount, though, he also like masks a lot of the issues in that like midfield too, like it's hard to like stay compact with the midfield too, and like teams are gonna cut you open. But like I feel like Mount, he's labeled unfortunately as like a stamina merchant, like just a guy that
yeah.
gets his miles in, like which is true, but like you guys need a player like that where even though he is an attacking player, he's willing to like work hard off the ball and like defend. Um, which Cunha, I feel like a lot of times he's just kind of walking around if he doesn't have the ball.
Yeah. But to the flip side, Cunha has like so much capability on the attack where I feel like it's
Hmm.
like that luxury player where because he creates so much, he's allowed to. Whereas Mount, to your point, he does like put in a shift, which definitely helps. And I think the way Amarin plays, like I think on the attack, like the formation and the way he sets up, like is fine.
Hmm.
Especially nowadays, we're seeing more like using Sesko's strengths, putting the ball into the box. I feel like we're still like he's still trying to fit in right now because like there's sometimes our passes are like a bit slow, or like making the wrong choices when Sesko makes these runs. But like I think we're putting in crosses a lot more, which plays to his strengths. I think
Hmm.
it's just to your point, it's on the defensive end is where we just need to tweak it a bit. Whether it's like Bruno, uh, like both the Bruno and Casemiro not having to press, like just one person sit back while the other presses or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like going forward, I
hmm
think you guys are fine. And it is crazy, like some of the XG stats that you've been sending me is like
I hate
crazy.
XGs, but yeah, I just
But like, I guess you don't really think about it because like at the end of the day, like you do need to get the 3 points, and you guys have struggled to do that. So that should be the priority. So I guess that's why I've kind of overlooked it. But
Mm.
I think you summed it up perfectly. We're like attacking wise, you guys are actually really dangerous and create a lot of good chances. But it's like what hurts is defensively. And when you're trying to come back, a lot of times, like you guys have been playing from behind, and it's hard to get points when like other teams can sit back after grabbing a goal.
Exactly. Um, but then also props to Layman's. I don't think this
Hmm.
debut was like crazy debut. Like he did anything. I think he made like one save, which should have been a save. Uh, and then he had two like crosses where he actually came out and caught the ball, like no slip ups. So that was like it just felt like we were in safe hands at that point of view. But it wasn't anything like he made like outrageous saves, which is also a good sign. Like we don't
Hmm.
need our goalkeeper to be doing that.
Yeah, I feel like with your keepers, you just want to feel like safe. You don't want to feel antsy around
Yeah, like
the
with Binder,
goalkeeper.
it's like simple crosses coming in. It's like you're always at the edge because it's like, oh, he's
Hmm.
gonna like spill it or something.
And then with Sesko too, like he did grab his goal. Similar to Brentford, it wasn't scrappy. His movement was good for that goal.
Mhm.
Um, but how do you feel about like the rest of his game and like linking up play?
I like it. He's got like
Hmm.
silky touches and like uh I love like his hold up play and he's a speed demon too. So like on the
Oh yeah.
transition too, like I think there was one where they had a poor corner and he was like on the break right away. But yeah, just I think he's really starting to show his strengths for this team.
Yeah, there was a couple transition plays that you guys it like started with him, and like he was spraying balls out to Embuemo, and it was
Hmm.
really impressive for him to like pick his head up and then have the quality to like find those passes out to Embuemo or Diallo.
Yeah, and I'm glad he's got his 2 goals in 2 games now because then the longer he went without a goal, it just would have hurt confidence, and we know what confidence can do to a striker.
And I mean, I'm on the flip side too. It's not like I mean, it is Sunderland. Like you should be grabbing points against them, but I mean, they're still top half of the table, and they just came off a pretty big win um, against Nottingham, and like they've had results too, like against Palace, Brentford, Villa. So it's not like this is just a
Yeah.
easy walk in the park.
Hmm. Yeah. I think their players like they still look like Xhaka's definitely carried that team a lot. Just his influence there in the midfield.
Hmm. And then in terms of substitutes, like I guess Dorgu, is that? Do you feel like he should be a certified starter, or
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah, he should be certified.
I guess like yeah, over Dallow he should, but is that a position that you think should be upgraded, or do you think he's good enough to start there?
I think he's good enough. Just a few things in his game that he just has to improve.
Hmm.
Um, but he should be a pin down starter. It's really his final, which is so weird. Preseason, his deliveries were looking good. So it's really just that deliveries into the box. Like he's really got to up that in his game.
Hmm.
That's really his only weakness, I think.
And then the other sub, well, I won't touch on like guys that got like 10 minutes, but like Cunha got a good chunk of time too.
Hmm.
And I don't know, after his like first two game, like his first couple games for y'all,
Yeah.
it was crazy, but like I thought he had a poor game when he came on, and like the past few matches, he hasn't looked great. Like he hasn't really moved me at all.
He's followed that Hater Central account because he's definitely trying to force it a bit, I think. Especially that Brentford game, he had a lot of
Hmm.
opportunities where it's like it was just really selfish. He could have grabbed a few assists maybe. Um, but yeah, it's just selfish and like he's just trying to force it and then loses it. Um, but yeah, I thought the first few games, like especially that Arsenal game and the game after that, like he was looking really good, like really threatening. But
Hmm.
yeah, the last this game and the previous game, he's looked a little shaky. But I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried.
Do you I feel like you guys are heading into international break feeling good, but like coming up against Liverpool, I feel like you guys
I wish Liverpool
have a
drew or
chance.
lost to you guys, or Liverpool drew or won versus you guys, because I know they're at a really, we'll get to them too. They're at like a weak spot, but like losing four, no, five in a row now, or wait, they lost three.
No, it's three,
Yeah,
I
so
think,
losing
right?
four,
Yeah.
yeah, losing four in a row is gonna be tricky.
Yeah, but I think you guys are coming up against them at like a perfect time.
Yeah, when they're at their weakest. Yeah, for
Hmm.
sure.
Do you want to jump into that game? Chelsea, Liverpool?
Let's do it. Your boys.
Our boys.
I'll let you summarize this one.
So this one, opening 15, 20 minutes, I would say we were kind of controlling that game. Uh, Caicedo scored an absolute banger, but I think what gets overlooked in that play is the movement of Enzo, especially, and like he really dragged out Gravenberch, and I feel like that was the one time he's been caught out of position, but like Caicedo was able to just kind of carry the ball still, and then obviously that strike was ridiculous, and then I don't know, Liverpool, I was not scared at all. Like I was like, I don't know, they just didn't really put chances together. And then once our center backs went down, Reece James kind of had to play center back. And I thought Badiashile, dude, I mean, we'll have to dig into him a little more, but I feel like he's coming back to life. Like that 6 month spell he had when he first joined us, he looked like world class. I know that's a crazy tier to put him in, but like he looked like one of the best defenders in the world, and him and Achimpong, like they looked really good, and they made Isak look like a championship level player. But then when those guys went down, Reece James kind of had to go into the middle center back, and Liverpool got that goal, and um, I was worried. It seemed like Liverpool, like the momentum had completely shifted their way, and then uh, yeah, at the end we got the goal off transition. Steve back post.
That's the about, uh-huh, uh-huh.
I
Uh,
like it. Um, Huge win for us, and I think based on the overall game, I think we did deserve the win. Um, but I think Slot and Liverpool also failed to capitalize after scoring that goal.
yeah. Um, One thing you didn't mention in it, which I think is a small talking point, is him bringing out Endo while it was
No,
still 1-1. I was like, this man
no,
go for a tie?
that was a huge talking point, I think. I think
That's
that
a
was a
red flag.
terrible sub.
Mm-hmm. I mean, no, nothing against Endo, but like usually when he brings him on, that's usually just raps, like see the game out. But like, I was like, why are you trying to see the game out while it's 1-1? Like, Chelsea are kind of at the ropes right now, losing center backs this game. Like, you could really go at them.
Yeah, the momentum was completely on Liverpool side.
So that was just a weird sub. I thought Curtis Jones was a really good sub, but and he kind of changed the game a bit for him. But
Hmm.
Endo, on the other hand, that was just a bad decision.
Yeah, I did not understand that sub, but I was like, I'll take it because we were, like you said, on the ropes at that point.
But that winner by Stevo, I think on the other end, Robertson as a veteran, that was a bit shameful. He was like literally on his knees, like he looked gassed and he was just like on his knees and then completely just lost track of Stevo in the back post.
I feel like the both fullback positions for Liverpool has been kind of their downfall, both in terms of creating chances, but also in terms of like defending. It's been very suspect.
This season,
Yeah.
overall, yeah. Kirk has he's been a disappointment this year. Um, he just hasn't looked like the Bournemouth Kirk has.
hmm And on the flip side, I think for us, Gusto too. The goal was he's been really annoying me this year, just attacking wise, misplaces passes, and then defending like always makes a mistake or like he's always a minute late to react.
I don't know. I thought I had to look back at the rewatch some of the highlights for the game, and I thought
hmm
Gusto like I thought he like yeah he had some like bozo like not bozo but like low IQ moments like here and there, but I thought for what he was asked to do like he did his job well. Because I thought when I saw that lineup it'd be Reece James into the midfield, but they put
hmm
Gusto there, and I thought Gusto like really nullified Soboslai.
Yeah, I think in the midfield he did, but like as a right back though, he like when Reece James had to slide into the center back, he was pushed out to the right.
Oh,
And I think like whenever he plays right back, um, I always get like a little worried in terms of like defensively.
yeah, he's kind of always in that forward thinking, so then kind of loses concentration.
Yeah, exactly. But Kukurea, he's one that like kind of like how you talked about Layman's, like how you have it's good to have just confidence in a goalkeeper. Um, that's exactly how feel when I'm watching us. Like I never have to worry about Kukurea. Like I feel like you can turn your brain off with him as a
Mhm.
fan because you're like he's one of the best left backs in the world and he's just gonna like you don't have to worry about him.
Yeah,
But I do think same point. It's like yeah, he did lock up Salah, but like Salah,
that's an all-time stinker.
he had a stinker too.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to touch on Salah as well. What'd you make of Salah? You think I don't know. That's a tough one. I think he should have been hooked. Like Slot should have the cojones to sub him off when I know Salah like he can be asleep for 89 minutes and then he'll come up with moment of brilliance for 1 minute that gets you a win. But like I think he was having one of his like most all-time stinkers, and like at that point, I think you got game changers to come off. Like Chiesa's had match winners, Rio's had match winners. Like I thought Salah should have definitely been taken off.
Yeah, especially Chiesa. When you have him in your arsenal, even if you don't rate him, you have to go like every time he does come on the pitch, he produces something. And I don't know, I just felt like, yeah, completely agree. Why not bring in Chiesa? And it just like seems like Slot doesn't rate him, but like he like whenever he comes on, he makes an impact.
Yeah, yeah, totally agree. Um, I think Chiesa got did he get included back into the Champions League squad?
He did, yeah.
The injury, gotcha. And I think
But
Salah. Go ahead. I'll let you.
how much do you think Salah's being impacted by losing Trent though?
Um. Well, I definitely liked it when Bradley's playing more than Frimpong. I feel like that suits Salah more, but I don't know if it's Trent impacting Salah or Trent impacting Liverpool as a whole.
Yeah, I think Trent, as much like slander we give him defensively, I mean,
Deservedly.
yeah, I mean, Liverpool do look decent. Uh, it's like the flip side of you guys. Like they have an issue with their attack, which is mind blowing given the names they have. But like
Yeah.
Trent was one guy that like could find any pass and like those line breaking passes.
Yeah, and that would definitely just catch teams like off guard as well.
hmm
Um, I was gonna say also Salah, like one thing that's hurting Liverpool is because like last year was like such an alien year, even years prior, like you know you're gonna get so many GAs with Salah. Like, uh, you could afford him like not helping out defensively.
Hmm.
Whereas like this year, he's not contributing offensively and defensively, which like really hurts. I
Hmm.
feel like the commentators were saying like Szoboszlai was giving Salah like a lot of stick yelling at him after Casado's goal, and that's just because like Salah wasn't tracking back, and like when you're not contributing offensively, you gotta like provide a little bit, like whether it be going back.
And I feel like last year and like just years before, Salah, like he was never asked to do that either
Hmm.
because Liverpool loved to play that transition type
Oh yeah.
style. And uh, so he's never been asked to do that. So that would be like a complete change to like what he's, I guess, used to doing.
Hmm.
But yeah, to your point, if you're not, he was really offering nothing for Liverpool.
Yeah. And going back to that first goal too, just because I've seen a lot of memes, and while it is really funny on Twitter, these memes, like that first goal isn't on Van Dijk.
No.
I'm sorry, that's like the rule of defense is like once he gets in the box, I mean that's when you definitely want to close him down, but like that's a shot you're not expecting, so
No. And they were just, I guess, making fun of him, like turning his back and stuff, but like
yeah.
he was also
Yeah.
not trying to like make his arms wide and like potential
Mm-mm.
handball and
He just had that cake on him.
and I
Hmm.
mean you see so many times where defenders defend like that and get a block.
Oh yeah, that was just a really good shot. So
Yeah. But before we wrap up this game, I just wanted to give a shout out again to both our center backs. Uh,
Benoit.
he like Levi Colwell's a huge miss, but Badiashile's one that's like naturally a left foot, but he's also very good playing out the back, and he has composure. And I thought like him, some of the long balls he was playing and like line breaking passes were really impressive. But then defensively too, he's looking back to like when he first joined the team,
Hmm.
and then Josh Achiampong, like dude, for a kid, like he does have like make mistakes here and there, but like he's also a teenager, and like his passing at times can be poor, but like as a pure defender,
Yeah.
like I'd give him props.
Hmm.
Like I thought he was really good.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, that's what like a lot of people are like for keepers, for example, it's like, oh, you need a ball playing keeper. It's like, yeah, that's all nice and stuff, but like at the end of the day, you just need a keeper that ultimately stops the ball going back of the net. Like that's the fundamental. So like, yeah, same for defending. Like,
Hmm.
um, also before we move on, I know uh you might have forgotten, but like you wanted to mention about Garnacho. Uh,
Yeah, I thought I like him. I didn't like his like character type, but I think under Chelsea and Maresca, that's not gonna fly.
hmm.
Um, like that type of personality, but you've already seen the change in him, like being humbled a little. You've seen that shift in him already, and dude, just like 1v1, I think he's a good player. Like he got past Bradley a few times, with his tricks, but like his movement, I feel like is elite. Like
Hmm.
knowing when to drift and stick to the touchline versus coming in. Um, the one thing I think I would want to see him improve is just like his final like
Yeah. I
product.
forget what minute it was, but I was like, that was typical Man United Garnacho when he had like perfect touch through on goal and then shooting it right at the keeper.
Yeah, and then he had another effort where he was like curling it. I don't know if it hit the post, but like it just missed the post. But he had so much time, and it was like a perfectly weighted pass to him.
Hmm.
And I don't know, I just felt like he could have done better with that finish too.
Yeah. Um, so he's definitely, I don't know. I've seen him quite a bit in United days. Like he'll have his moments. Uh, just that final product's not hasn't really been there. And then at times he can be predictable uh, when he's like matched up one on one, trying to beat his man.
Yeah, he doesn't have many moves, but I feel like he has like the in intelligence or like the feel for the game of like when to make the right pass or take on his defenders.
Hmm.
So like I don't know, just every time he's played for us so far, I feel like he's made a positive impact.
Definitely better cameos than Gittins.
Yeah, Gittins still needs to. I haven't seen any positive signs from him yet.
I think this was one of his better cameos, but I think that the standards were so low where like
Hmm.
we'll just take it at this point.
Yeah. All right. If you want to move on to the last kind of league game that we'll wrap up on is from today, the Serie A game, Juve versus Milan.
Mm.
Um, I'll let you touch. I was getting kind of distracted during this game. So I'll let you kind of cover this more just because I know you were kind of locked in with
Yeah.
this game. I
Yeah.
know it finished 0-0, but I
Mhm.
do think both teams missed a few really solid chances.
Yeah. So I'd say the first half was somewhat I want to say boring, but it was kind of like very defensive minded. I thought both teams were quite solid defensively, and that's kind of what you expect with especially like a Allegri team.
Hmm.
But that second half, I thought was not chaos, but like definitely a lot more chances. Juve center backs, they're definitely a threat going forward, or not forward, but like on set pieces, like that Gatti guy. He scored a crazy bike Champions League in midweek, but he almost got another goal today. Crazy save by Mignon.
Hmm.
Luka Modrić, he's still looking class, dictating play the whole game. He got like I think it was to Jimenez. He like lobbed the defender, and Jimenez gets pulled down, but then Captain America skied it, missed a PK, and
This
then
was one of the games that I felt like Pulisic didn't have
the
the
impact.
impact that he's had so far.
Yeah, I think his striking partner actually had a better impact, Jimenez.
Dude, he looked pretty good today.
Yeah, he looked really good. I didn't realize how like he just looked really like he looked really big compared to like the Juve players. Like
Hmm.
he looked like he was matching up versus their center backs. And then Leão, he's still kind of working through fitness, but he came on as a sub and he looked a bit rusty. He tried to chip the keeper from midfield. That would have been audacious if he pulled that off.
Yeah.
But then late in the game, Modric again, like crazy deceiving through ball, and Leão just like terrible attempt at it at like such a good chance. And that was like late in the game, which definitely would have sealed it.
Yeah, Milan created like that pass by Modric was ridiculous. And there was another one. Jimenez had like some back heel crazy pass to Leao, I think. And it
Oh
seemed like
yeah.
every time Leao had the ball like in a good spot, he always like scuffed at it. Like it just
Hmm.
wasn't a clean
Yeah, not
strike.
clean contact at all. No.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know he gets floated around as like a guy that's a top, especially in this transfer window when there were talks around him potentially getting a move. There were debates on like if he's a top three winger.
yeah, everyone was saying like Arsenal would need to secure him.
Yeah, where would you rank him in terms of like as a left winger
That's a
in the
left
current
winger.
market? Like, do you think he's a top three winger?
That left winger market's kind of low.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know, top three, maybe top five, potentially top five.
My issue with him too is just he's not consistent. Like, there's days where he looks like the best player in the world, but then there's days where he just looks like he can't even like he's never touched the ball before.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. Yeah, when he's on, but like, yeah, when he's off, he's like way off of it.
Hmm.
So I don't know if it's just a fitness issue right now because he's been hurt since like the opener. And he's still kind of trying to make his way back into it, but he's looked a bit, especially today, like really rusty, like you said.
Hmm.
But Jimenez, he looked really good.
Yeah.
He had a really good game. Him and for AC Milan, I'd say at the back, Pavlovic looked really good, and he's one who's had to change his game a bit just because he's kind of playing in the not center of the center backs, so he's on the attack, like
Hmm.
putting in balls at times. He had like one like crazy back heel where I was like, oh, I didn't know he had this in his
Yeah,
bag.
I didn't know that either. I thought all three defenders for Milan looked pretty good today.
Hmm.
Um, I thought Tomori too, like going up against Yildiz, he was kind of isolated at times, and he still like nullified him. And Yildiz, like just
One of his quieter games, couldn't really
yeah.
get anything going.
And there were times where he was kind of isolated with Tomori, and I was like,
Hmm.
oh, this is a moment where he like stamps his name into the game, but just never happened.
Exactly. Yeah. I thought that I think he's still on, or he's permanent now, but Sao, he looked good again,
Hmm.
on the opposite flank. Uh, but yeah, Yildiz just didn't have the impact. Jonathan David, I don't know, bro. Uh,
Yeah, he looked
uh,
poor today.
yeah, he had one like unfortunate slip, but I mean, still like there were other moments where I was like, I mean, if Vlahovic was there, I feel like he could have
Hmm.
capitalized better.
And then Locatelli is a player that like he's one that like I always kind of slept on, I guess, and like I
Uh-huh.
thought he was like kind of overrated, especially after maybe it was the Euros that Italy won, where he started getting talked
Shouts.
about a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just never really rated him like that. But um, the more and more I watch Juve, like I feel like he's a central figure in that team.
El Captain. Yeah. Capitan.
It's just the way he like dictates play, and like he's kind of all over the pitch too at times.
Hmm. I say one. Yeah. I like that shout. On AC Milan side, though, one player who, like, he's never really moved me ever. And, like, I still don't really get moved by him is Rabiot.
Mm,
Um, I don't know. I don't know why they got rid of, like, I know you liked that one guy that was on AC Milan before, Benacer.
yeah.
I don't know why like they moved on from him suddenly. Because Rabiot, I'm just not really a fan. And they got like that youngster on the bench, Samuel Ricci.
Hmm.
He got unused and like he was really top prospect coming from Torino.
Yeah. But thank goodness Igor's moved on from Koopman Miners. Like I am tired of seeing him play for Juve.
Oh yeah, I like Turam. He definitely has a lot more impact than Myers.
Hmm. Were there any other players that stuck out, or should we move on to a Champions League roundup?
Yeah, we can move on. Also just Serie A, quick shouts out. Rasmus, another goal.
Oh
Sheesh,
goodness.
on fire, winner.
And then staying on him, against Sporting, he also got two goals, ended up getting the winner in that game too.
Yeah, his I don't know if you saw his Instagram post after the Champions League match, but
No.
it was it was him like celebrating, but his caption it said Højlund scores twice in the Champions League after two assists from Kevin De Bruyne was not on my 2025 bingo card.
Yeah, so Hoyland, I think he got player of the match too.
Yeah,
And I mean, Manchester's not in the in
seeing a
the
lot more of that this year.
we don't see Manchester in the competition, but you see their fingerprints everywhere. You saw Rashford against Newcastle, and then Hoyland, obviously, and then uh, Anthony Longa also Champions League got player of the match against Union, and then Sabitzer. I don't know if you would consider him a United player, but uh,
Yeah, just because like he was like apparently he said when he joined us he was like a boyhood United fan, so I was like, yeah. Come to
Yeah, I
us.
remember when he signed with you guys, you were super excited about him. You're like, he's gonna change the club.
Techie, yeah, he's so techie.
But yeah, against Athletic Bilbao, he was also a game changer. So United fingerprints everywhere, even though you guys aren't in the competition. But I guess we can talk about some of the games from Champions League. We'll first go over a huge upset, Galatasaray
Ah,
over
yes,
Liverpool. Um,
the boys in Turkey.
yeah, the night before, you sent me a video of just the crazy fireworks and the scenes, like right outside the Liverpool hotel, trying to keep them awake. Absolute shithousery of the fans. We love to see it.
Welcome to Turkey.
I mean, it's not an easy place to play, and it shouldn't be taken lightly. Like whenever you're going to Turkey, it's a tough environment. But again, I thought Liverpool deservingly lost that game.
It's very similar type performance to what they just dropped this weekend.
Yeah, I would say it was probably even slightly worse.
Yeah, just very unmoving going forward. I know we didn't touch on it on the Chelsea Liverpool matchup, but again, Vert's just not living up to his price tag yet. I mean, I'm not going to count him off just because we've seen what he's done in Bundesliga, but like it's a bit concerning paying that much and like it's just the fundamentals he's like lacking in. And I think he was kind of at fault for Galatasaray's goal. I know the PK, but like the counter ultimately was from like a poor decision making from his end.
hmm And it's crazy that Galatasaray, like if you just look at the team sheet, like it's a bunch of players that are just kind of like old heads or just forgotten about now. And like the fact that those guys were outperforming every single person on Liverpool was a kind of shocking.
Yeah, Davinson Sanchez, yo, crazy. In
Yeah, and then
2025,
didn't they come off like a 5-1 thrashing to Frankfurt like the previous
yeah,
match
previous
too?
match. You got Davinson Sanchez in the back. And they got Wilfred Singo at the back, who I liked at Monaco. This was a bit of a weird move, I thought, but he's
hmm
definitely a good player on there. But yeah, Lucas Torreira and Lamina running the midfield there with
Yeah,
Gundogan.
Gundogan was like stringing some really nice passes.
Yeah, he's throwing it back to the days at City. He had that nice pass to Yilmaz, who drew that PK on Soboslai.
Yeah, I don't watch Gala too much, but like that Yilmaz guy,
Yeah.
he's kind of saucy.
Yeah, I had to look him up to see if he was related to Bilrek Yilmaz. He was like a Galatasaray legend, but
Uh,
they weren't.
yeah. Again, what did you think of like Salah not starting in this game?
Um, I think he was maybe trying to um play it safe with the Chelsea matchup happening in the weekend, but at the same time, it's like Galatasaray was one where it's like a 3 points secure. Um, I thought for sure. Um,
hmm
and so like maybe even if you play them like first half or like 50 minutes, secure the points and then sub them off. But that was a bit strange.
Yeah, I thought that was a weird move by Slot, and then like putting Frimpong.
That was the weird part is
Yeah,
putting Frimpong versus like a true winger.
yeah, I didn't understand Slot's decision there. And that's what like annoys me of like a lot of fans, especially Liverpool fans, have been pushing an agenda that, like Slot is this uh like a top manager in Premier League already, but like I don't think he's really proved himself yet.
Slot? I don't think so either. I mean, squad like he inherited a really good squad um from Klopp. So
hmm
I think like literally the only props we could give him is like discovering Gravenberch as a
hmm
defensive mid, like revitalizing his career. But other than that, like I don't think it's been all that. And it's really City's just been on the decline that year. So it's like their only competition last season really was Arsenal.
Yeah. I don't know. Like Slot just his in-game management too is like not great. I mean, you saw it at the Chelsea game.
Hmm.
You point out with like Endo, but like even this lineup here today was like I think the issue with Liverpool might be just like the way they set up, like everyone's just a ball carrier, and like going back to like Trent, like he was one guy that could pick out passes and like drift into the midfield, but
Hmm.
like Gravenberch, Curtis Jones, they're more like ball carriers, Soboslai, so you don't really have a guy that could like pick out passes, and I feel like Trent was a huge miss there,
Yeah.
or even like McAllister not starting.
Hmm. Oh yeah, he didn't start this. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's weird because they have like all the talent in
Hmm.
the world. It is kind of funny how Liverpool fans said they thought this was like best transfer window in history. Um, I was like, nah, that '09 Madrid is like surpassing
Oh yeah.
that for sure. But I mean, this is still a crazy transfer window. So like, I know you called like you had said it before the season started when we were doing predictions that you said one thing that might be playing into Liverpool's downfall is like the players having to gel together
Hmm.
with all the transfers. But I think that has been a slight issue. But even to that, it's just like I think some players are just like a bit out of form, and then just like Kanate's been like headed somewhere else, and then to your point just now too is like coaching like been a bit questionable decision making from Slot's end also. It's just a
Hmm.
mix of everything.
And even against Galatasaray, like they didn't create that many clear-cut chances.
Mm-mm. No.
So, I mean, defensively, I think they're okay. Fullbacks, I think need to improve, but
Hmm.
going forward is really concerning.
We're kind of seeing it's crazy to say, but like we're seeing like prime Van Dyke right now. He's really having to really cover everyone's butt in the
Hmm.
defensive side.
Yeah, it's crazy. Van Dijk has like he was elite when he won that like Player of the Year PFA. What was
Hmm.
that, 5 years ago now?
Yeah. So,
And then now it's like that same levels.
It's really just that ACL injury. Like after coming back from that, he was a bit shaky, but it's almost like a unicorn Van Dyke again.
Dirty Pickford. Uh, But yeah, I guess we can go through the next game that day too. Chelsea versus Benfica.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't catch this one, so I'll let you summarize this one for me. All I
yeah,
know
so
is I saw you guys got a red.
yeah, João Pedro, he got two yellows. So kind of to our uh theme this year with red cards. But yeah, I was kind of worried like where we scored and like we were kind of dominating this game. And rightfully so, like we were definitely the better team, but like at times like we were so good that first half, but we like take the foot off the gas, I guess, and like I was worried that like Benfica may equalize at any point, get like a fluke goal, and we end it 1-1. Fortunately, I thought defending again, Moises Caicedo was just absolutely everywhere, player of the match for me. But um, I think what's impressive is like, yeah, he's like there as like the destroyer, but he also like picking up the ball deep and starting our build up was impressive. And then um, I think the second best player on that pitch was Badiashile
Mhm.
again. Um,
Badiashile.
he's just insane. Just reminds me of like that first 6 months where he was like one of the best defenders in the world.
Mm. And the world is crazy.
Dude,
Maybe
I
in the league he was up there. Uh,
I don't know. He's
bro,
just bro,
that's wild.
I'm telling you, he just needs to remain consistent. And if he can stay, I don't know how serious his injury is, but
Hmm.
if he can stay healthy,
Well, it was an injury after the Liverpool game.
I'm not sure,
Mm.
but hopefully it's not too serious.
How was I know this was the return of Jose Mourinho
Hmm.
back to Stamford Bridge, leading uh, Benfica, just like storybook because that's like the first team he managed. But how did Benfica look under Jose?
Ah, they weren't too like they didn't create too many chances.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know, defensively I thought they looked pretty good,
Hmm.
but you kind of expect that out of a Jose team.
Yeah.
Uh, but that one midfielder, Rios, I was kind of keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, he's the talk of the summer.
Oh yeah, he's looked pretty good
Mm.
this year, and like even in this game, he was the one guy that was kind of potentially creating chances, even as like a defensive midfielder.
Gotcha. Yeah,
But I
that's
thought
the.
we like defended well overall. We're like I
Mhm.
wasn't scared we were gonna lose the game, but I was just nervous like they'd get like a fluke goal, and we
Yeah, that's a big win for you guys because coming into the Champions League when I saw your schedule released, I thought you guys would obviously move on, um, but Benfica was one of the games where I had you guys down as like one of the games you guys would drop points, get a tie.
mm, it was definitely a it wasn't easy. It was definitely a grind, and I wish our end product was better at times. But to your point, like I'll take that win
Yeah,
against Benfica.
and that's positive signs too. Like doing it without Cole Palmer back to back, not having to
Yeah,
rely
that's true.
on.
And again, like Garnacho, I think is a really good signing because like everything, like our whole build up at times, like before we signed him, like you could tell was going to be focused just on the right side. And I
Mhm.
mean, even the goal like perfectly summarizes it. Like it was Reece James and Pedro Neto, coming from the right side and just
Mhm.
like completely overloading. But like when you have a quality player like Garnacho on the other
Yeah.
side,
Hmm.
uh, I feel like that's where Benfica messed up was they kind of lost track of Garnacho.
Gotcha. Um, and then before we move on to the big one Wednesday, I'll just recap. Tuesday, other games that happened. Atalanta beat Club Brugge 2-1. Real Madrid beat Kairat 5-0. Your sleeper Atletico beat Frankfurt 5-1. Um, Tottenham got a late one and tied Bodo Glimt 2-2. That was a revenge from Europa League. Uh, Chelsea we covered. Liverpool, Galatasaray we covered. Inter beat Slavia Prague 3-0. Marseille boys beat Ajax 4-0, and Bayern Munich beat Paphos FC 5-1.
The first game week, I felt like there were a lot of really good matchups, but this one was a little quieter.
Yeah, very one-sided at
Yeah.
times. So Wednesday, Qarabag beat Copenhagen 2-0. Qarabag, crazy start. Newcastle
That's
demolished.
two wins now?
Yeah, 2 wins out of 2. Newcastle beat Union 4-0. Arsenal beat Olympiacos 2-0. Leverkusen tied PSV 1-1. Dortmund beat Athletic Club 4-1. Monaco late equalizer tied City 2-2. Napoli beat Sporting 2-1. And Villarreal tied Juve 2-2. And now we will hop
You
in.
saw who got the game tying goal?
Your boy Viega. That was shameless
Yeah.
celebrations, man. Uh,
Yeah, you were saying like he did it like in front of
that's what it looked
Juve
like.
fans too. That's insane. That gives me like Adebayor vibes.
Like no F's given.
Because he was actually pretty good for Juve, and like he played a lot
Yeah.
of games, like
Yeah.
started.
Yeah, he was. I guess they just couldn't afford him. I don't know.
But that's the type of stuff I like, where players like don't be like respect, because I played for you. Like,
Yeah, like the Declan Rice goal this weekend versus West Ham, like didn't celebrate. I was like, dude, you just scored a really good goal.
yeah,
So now we'll go into the Barcelona versus PSG game.
but yeah, this one was, potentially what the finals should have been last year. If Barca had beat Inter, people were like, Barca would have beat PSG in the finals, but I thought this one came down all to coaching, honestly. I thought Luis Enrique outclassed Hansi Flick and like nullified exactly like how Barca want to play.
Hmm. Yeah, coaching masterclass, and it honestly was a PSG like weaker team. They didn't have Dembele because of injury, Doué because of
Hmm.
injury, Vicha because of injury. So they were missing a lot of players. João Neves injured, Marquinhos at the back injured. Although Pacho
Yeah.
and Zabarni still, that's a crazy pairing.
Hmm.
I think that might be a better pairing than Marquinhos. But
Yeah,
Marquinhos is
I
like
think
El
so
Cap,
too.
you know what I mean, captain.
Yeah, captain.
So
And then Barca were missing players too, but yeah, to your point, the names you just listed, those are some big names for PSG.
yeah, the only player missing for Barca really was like uh Juan Garcia and then Balde at the back.
And Rafinha too.
Oh yeah, that loser. Rod.
But Rashford, man, he looked really good. I felt like he was the only one for Barca going forward that looked dangerous.
Yeah, the first opening minutes when Lamine Yamal had that crazy run, did that like 360 spin to split the two defenders, I was like, oh, this is the type of game Yamal's about to bring. But even Yamal was like nullified by Nuno Mendes.
Oh yeah.
Game. So Rashford was like looking like the only person that would have created anything.
Yeah, I was surprised when Hansi Flick brought him off, and I thought he would have taken off like Danny Olmo kind of had a stinker. Thought he would bring him off, or even Fernan Torres.
Yeah, Fernand Torres didn't have the greatest of games either.
Oh,
Um,
it reminded me of the game last year. Was it against PSG where
oh
Rashford was
yeah,
cooking
when
and
he was at
then
Villa, yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
then like
yeah.
took him off for some reason?
Hmm. Oh yeah, that's a good point. It's kind of just like that. Yeah, I didn't get that sub. Um, I think PSG, one kid that kind of moved me, not gonna lie, is Mayulu. Um, I know it's not like Dembele standards, but like for what shoes he had to fill in, I thought he slotted in really well. Hold up play was actually surprisingly pretty good. Even like he's kind of cooking the Kubarsi at times. So I thought he had
Yeah,
a really good game.
yeah, only 19 too.
Hmm. And the other 17-year-old next to him, Mbai, had a good game as well.
Yeah,
He's kind of strong for his age. Shrugging off Kunde.
if any of the front threes, I thought Barcola, who's the most experienced, had the poorest of the three.
Yeah, his finishing, man. He's got to work on that.
Yeah. But I think Luis Enrique got this nailed perfectly. I thought Pedri, like he came off because he didn't make much of an impact, but it just comes down to like Luis Enrique. Like every time Pedri or De Jong got the ball, it was like a PSG player was like right on them and like they couldn't make things happen. And those guys are the ones really that gets Barca moving.
Yeah. At first I thought it was weird when he brought in Lucas Hernandez. But then he kind of put Mendes out there as like a winger.
Hmm.
Um,
If anything, I think this could have been PSG should have won by more than just 2-1.
yeah. Barcola really needs to work on his finishing, man.
Yeah.
He squandered a lot of chances.
Yeah, Hansi Flick, do you think it's sustainable, like his style of play?
No, I think they'll get found out, especially versus like I think if definitely PSG had their usual front three, could have been a lot worse.
Hmm.
That high line is just outrageous, man.
Yeah, I mean Hansi's Flick whole mentality is like, we're just gonna outscore you, like
Hmm.
point blank, and yeah,
For
that might
neutrals,
work.
it's entertaining, but
Oh yeah, I love
just
it.
yeah.
But it's in La Liga it might work, but
Hmm.
top teams, I don't think it's gonna be successful.
Yeah. I thought yeah, PSG could have definitely had a lot more to your point, but that second goal was that's beautiful, just like from back to front. They
Yeah,
were toying with Barca. And
and
then
to your point
Balde
of like,
just got lost.
yeah, and to your point, Nuno Mendes, like the opening minutes when like he got put on his butt from Lamine. I was like,
Hmm.
uh-oh. But like that second goal was like him just starting that move.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I think that I feel kind of bad for Balde just like coming in late into a game, especially as a defender, not getting settled in, and I think that's kind of what happened. He just lost. He's kind of caught ball watching and lost track of Hakimi.
Hmm. And
Um,
then I don't know if this like sustainable like in terms of injuries too. Barca have players going down like even this weekend, and it might just be the way Hansi Flick likes to play. Like these players are really having to stretch their legs, and I don't know if it's like sustainable for them. Like I could see them having a lot more injuries to some key players.
yeah, they don't really need many injuries. Because they're I feel like some of their players are also like Lewandowski. He's been one that's been kind of disappointing.
Hmm.
Started this year.
Especially for this team where they're so top heavy,
Hmm.
like where they don't have players that can come off the bench and fill at the same level. Whereas like PSG, guys can come in and do relatively well. I don't really see that with Barca.
Yeah, yeah. So credit to PSG. I thought honestly that like obviously they were gonna move on, but like I thought they'd have a tough time, and they've still looked really good.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, props to Luis Enrique. He just completely nullified De Jong and Pedri in this one.
oh yeah. So as of current standings right now, Bayern Munich first place, Real Madrid second, PSG third, Inter fourth, Arsenal fifth, Korabag FK six, Dortmund seven, and City eight. So as of now, if it were to end, those would be the automatic qualifiers.
Yeah, Bayern so far to me has looked like the strongest team so far in the world.
Yeah, yeah, they look pretty scary, not gonna lie. But I just hope I know this weekend they had a pretty comfortable victory, but Harry Kane came off injured,
Mm.
like an ankle injury. So hopefully nothing too serious with him because he's looked outrageous this year. Um, he's got like almost 2 goals a game.
Yeah, and he's playing like a number 10 at times too.
Hmm.
But the cool, like interesting thing is like defensively too, they've looked so much better. And I think it probably comes down to like Upamecano. Like he's kind of had
He has bozo moments at times.
yeah, and he's like he hasn't looked good for Bayern, but like this year he's actually looked really good.
Hmm.
So they're shoring up that defense for sure. And then I don't know if you've watched like paid attention to Pavlovich too much. I know a lot of
Bayern Munich,
yeah.
I'm a fan of his.
Yeah, I haven't really paid attention to him too much, but everyone's been talking about him. So I think next time
Hmm.
Bayern play, well, this international break, I might go back and watch a little more Bayern and try to focus on him because everyone's rating him so highly.
Yeah, dude, he's nice. And Luis Diaz still the price tag still baffles me, but like you can't take away the fact his impact's been crazy.
Hmm.
Scored 15 seconds into the game this weekend. Wild.
And then to your point, Elise, he's one of the
He
top ones
got
out there.
yeah, he got robbed. 30th in the Ballon d'Or. But Ballon d'Or kind of jokes these days.
Yeah. And then with international break this weekend, it'll be cool to see him and his Palace partner back. Mateta finally got called up to France.
Oh, JP,
JP.
Mr. Boom. Yeah, that's a crazy journey. Um,
Dude.
at 28, finally getting that's he deserves it for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely taken this opportunity well.
Hmm. Speaking of old French heads, Giroud still kicking it with Leo. Crazy, he's back in Europe. Kind of comes off the bench, but he's gotten a couple goals to his name this season.
Yeah, I think they tied PSG today.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, because you were saying, doesn't Mbappe's brother play for Lille?
Yeah.
Yeah, he scored today, the tying
Oh, for
goal.
real?
Yeah.
I don't know how he is. compared to Mbappe, I doubt he's at that level, but that's still crazy.
Yeah, I need to go back, like watch some of his clips, see what
Hmm.
his skill sets are like.
Oh yeah. So that's Champions League. So I don't know when Champions League is back. Looking at it, it looks like the 21st of October. So some international break and then domestic league games and then Champions League will be back. But do you want to round it off with next week? Probably won't have a recording just because of the international break, but afterwards you want to touch on some of the Premier League games,
Yeah, I
touch
can
on
do that.
around the world.
Yeah, so 18th when the league is back, um, we have a big one is Nottingham versus Chelsea,
Big
and
Ange, first manager, 007, strays by Hater Central.
it's been set. Oh yeah, he's lost all seven.
Yeah.
Jeez. Do you think his job's at risk already? Just with the way like
Dude,
managers get.
it might be, especially with his forced owner. He's kind of looks like he's a bit loose on the head.
I
Makes
feel like Marinakis has completely screwed up this whole thing for Nottingham.
Yeah, they had a really nice project built out.
Yeah. I mean, they were built on like counterattacking football and like defending well. And with Nuno, that was like perfect. And
Hmm. Yeah, I feel bad for Forrest, man. Um,
but West Ham, they got their first black manager.
yes. Sir.
That was
Also, just real quick on that Marinakis guy, like I hate when owners get involved, like they know what they're doing. Um,
mm,
like it's kind of like a shitty way to think about it, but like as owners, it's like, bro, you just got the bread. Just give me the like. You don't make the decisions on who comes. Like, just give me the
no.
bread to get those people.
Yeah, I mean, you should get the final say, but like you shouldn't be so involved like this. Like you should take, yeah, to your point. And Tepper does the same thing. It's annoying.
Hey, y'all got the dub too, though.
Yes, sir. Put your hands up if you got the dub in NFL.
Sure. Saints, baby.
Um, but yeah, we play Nottingham, and that's a big game for them. Ange is probably definitely feeling the pressure, uh, potential assassination threats
Yeah.
too under Marinakis. But we also have Palace versus Bournemouth. Palace heartbreaking loss to Everton today. Grealish getting a lucky winner at the end.
Palace trying to be like the invincible Arsenals, just tie their ways to be undefeated.
And then Bournemouth, they got a really good win against Fulham this past weekend. Semenyo, dude, he's moving crazy,
Different gravy.
dude. He's the next Mane. Like he's moving like that.
Hmm.
So they play, and then City play Everton. So that's a big one. We'll see if Everton can keep it up. And then Burnley, Leeds,
That's a big
relegation
one. Yeah.
relegation battle for sure.
Already.
And then we have Arsenal. They travel to Craven Cottage. They get to see some ex-players there.
Mhm.
And then the big one Sunday, Liverpool United.
Yes, sir. And Tottenham Villa. Villa has now got what, 3 games in a row?
Hmm.
Um, so they're starting to catch a bit of fire there. I think around the world, we got on Saturday. We'll have to keep out for Barcelona, who got upsetted today versus Sevilla. They played Girona. And then we got Villarreal versus Real Betis. And then your Atletico boys versus Osasuna. Also Saturday in Bundesliga, we got Bayern Munich versus Dortmund. Dortmund's starting to look back like it's becoming like the old school Bundesliga where it's like just Bayern Munich and Dortmund kind of run
Hmm.
away with it. Um, Serie A, we got Napoli, or sorry, Hoyland's just in my mind too much. Torino, Napoli, that's a easy Napoli win. But Roma versus Inter Milan is also a big one. Um, and then Ligue 1, I'm just gonna keep tabs on it. Is Angers? It's probably pronounced like on hers or something versus Monaco. because Ansu Fati has been on crazy fire, and also they said at the start of the season Pogba's return was
Pogba.
expected like sometime October, so I don't know if it would be this one. Um,
Oh my goodness. Pogba return.
real,
We need that.
we need that instantly. Sunday we got Getafe versus Real Madrid. Um, then we got AC Milan versus Fiorentina, and that looks like it is it. So we got some really good matchups after the international break. Definitely we'll have to catch up on those.
We also got Como versus Juve on Sunday morning,
Oh,
6:30
I
a.m.
missed that one. Yes. The Napoli, the Hoyland one was just he's in my mind.
Dude, Hoyland is moving different Serie A.
Yeah, they're Fabrizio just tweeted saying that Napoli want to secure Hoyland on a permanent because they have faith in him. So crazy.
What confidence does to a player.
Yeah, this is the Hoyland that we saw with a lot of potential from Atalanta, the transitional play Hoyland.
Hmm.
But as always, ladies and gents, that's all for this week. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll be back next time to talk more footy, highlight game-changing super subs, and drop takes hotter than a derby day. If you enjoyed the chat, make sure to subscribe, drop us a rating, and share the pod with your friends and family. But until then, keep the football chatter alive, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.